Your
What?
other one was too bright.
It's too bright?
No, it's fine now. Your other one was too bright. When we did
I love
it
your
in the
fake
house.
smile because we're off camera. You don't really smile. You're just like. Hey everybody. Ooh. Hey everybody, it's David Cinelli here. I'm here with my grumpy, upset wife, Natalie.
Oh my god.
All right, I'm here with my wife, Natalie Cinelli. She's part owner of Spaces Collective, a staging company, and we'd like to present to you Stager's Corner, where I get to ask all the important questions to a stager. My wife, Natalie.
Ask away.
Okay, so Nat, staging. Okay. I think wow. For fees, stop looking at me like that. Okay, for fees, like how does it work when it comes to staging property? Like, am I able to ask you to come stage your property for like 5 minutes and then say that's it, that's all I want for like for a couple of days? Like, how does the staging fee structure work?
Okay, so most realtors are familiar with stagers and the way they work, but a lot of the time homeowners have no idea because you probably only ever do this once or twice, and typically it's something that the realtor handles, but not all the time.
Not all the time. Correct.
So in a typical contract with the client, our initial term is 30 days. Now again, this is just for our business. Other stagers could be very different.
What about if you're in February? It's still 30 days?
Yeah.
It's only 28 days of the month.
Who said anything about monthly?
Okay, sure.
I said 30 days.
I thought it was monthly.
No. So it's a 30-day contract, and the initial month's contract is 100% of your fee. So that includes our time to pick and select everything that's going into the property, the actual delivery of the items. So that's like soft goods, furniture, plant, artwork, all of that. Installation and assembly of all those things, and then holding on to it for, let's call it, a 2 or 3 week period, and then removal at the end of the 30-day period. So that's what that initial month covers. Additional months, we do a discounted rate, obviously, because we're not taking into account the fact that we're removing it and installing it. That's all covered in the first month.
Okay, cool. So what happens if I sell my house in 1 week, which is usually my average 6 days? At least that's been lately anyway. So I sell a house in 6 days. Can I call you up and say, hey, I've done 6 days. Can I get some of that money back?
That's a very common question. So the short answer to that is nope. Reason being, all our costs are sunk into that first month. So whether you hold on to the furniture and items for 1 day or 28 days, we still have to pay our movers and our assistants the exact same fee to bring them in and take them out. So first month is first month as it is. Now, even though you've sold in 6 days, doesn't mean the stuff has only been there for 6 days.
Yeah.
What typically happens is staging comes in, and within 48 to 72 hours, the photographer will come in, and then within
Cleaners
will come in.
Videographer, photographer, 360, they do all that. Sometimes it's not always done on the same day. Yeah.
So, hopefully it's not done on the same day. Give us a little bit of breathing room. So say all of that happens the next...
I never do that, do I?
happens the next day after staging, then you need that 48 to 72 hours to get all marketing materials designed and printed and to the property. So now you're already on, day 4 or 5 of a contract, and maybe it's not going on the market as soon as the things are ready. Maybe we staged on a Wednesday and everything's ready by Saturday, so you're waiting until Monday or Tuesday. So that adds on a couple of other days. Then if you're holding offers, you're on the market for a week. Let's call it a week. And your offer comes through, great, you have a clean offer. Okay, great, so technically we could come the next day if you wanted us to take everything out, but a lot of the times buyers don't want to move it out until sellers don't want to move it out until buyers have had like a chance to kind of walk through it for their first walkthrough. So sometimes that's scheduled within that first month. So that's also a reason why, it stays in the property, and that's on a firm offer. Oh, and then sometimes you don't want to take the items out of the property until it firms up. So this is when you have a conditional offer. Could be anywhere from 5 to 10 days, all depending on the offer. just in case it doesn't make it.
But again, we were talking about just a quick sale.
Okay.
So the quick sale, it's not going to be conditional. Conditional offer, sometimes if you have like a condo, for example, if you haven't got your status certificate, you can be there for 2 weeks. So we're talking about really of a quick, and that might eat up your 80 or 30 days. What happens, so in that kind of situation too, I guess a realtor would have to figure out what they want to do if they do have a conditional sale. Say you were conditional about a status certificate. So the status certificate is a big document. Long story short, it could take 10 days to get into our hands, the seller's hands, and then we have to give it to the buyer side, and then their lawyer has 3 days to review. So total could be 13 days, so basically 2 weeks. If you're close to the end of it, I guess a realtor has to make the decision at that point whether they want to continue to have this property staged or whether they want to remove it. It could be some cost at that point.
But you didn't want to talk about these sales. You wanted to just talk about the quick ones.
I did, but then, okay, and what about moving floors? Going from one floor to another floor?
Yes, that's definitely possible, but it's a little bit more logistically challenging than it sounds.
So Natalie's had one where she's had a realtor and had staged the unit, it's sold, and they asked, okay, we just want to move from this floor up to another floor.
Yes.
That's what I meant. I don't know if that was clear.
So my answer stands. It's logistically a little bit challenging because if you're not moving in a condo when they're stacked and you've got the exact same layout, then it works. But then there's also, moving from corner unit to side unit, and you just have to make sure everything works properly. The bed sizes are right, all of that. Anyway, that's the back end of it. But in terms of contracts and pricing, then it all depends how long it's been there. So there's typically a flat fee for the move because, again, we have to take into account the movers coming in to move the stuff. So the removal and disassembly cost is already covered in the first month, but then the move in and the new assembly is covered in the flat fee. Does that make sense?
And so the only difference is you're removing the driving aspect of it.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. All right. So I hope you enjoyed this week's Stager's Corner with my less grumpy and lovely wife, Natalie Cinelli from Spaces Collective. Nat, if they want to get in touch with you or Julia, what's the best way for them to reach out?
Send us a DM at spaces.collective.
And I am David V. Cinelli _realtor on Instagram. I am also, anyway, on the other channels. If you want to get in touch with me, feel free to reach out. And we'd love to hear your suggestions for something that Natalie could talk about on this forum.
Really running out. Really running out.
Well, there's always something to talk about.
There is, but
we just don't know what people want all the time. Yeah. Anyway, have a wonderful day.